Hey guys, this is Bill and Emily, and we have another health tip for you guys. This particular one is, and you heard me talk about this before in the past, about the gut and how important a good balanced gut bacteria is for overall health and for fighting off diseases. So just a real recap of probably some of the other videos I've posted. Research has now shown that all diseases, I mean, they say most diseases, but I think all diseases start in the gut. The American people, because of the Western diet, because of the contamination, the environmental contamination, the herbicides, pesticides that are on the food, your bottled waters that are contaminated with toxic chemicals, tap water, which is now showing up with a large amount of estrogen in the water, which is also, most of your bottled water, guys, are filtered city water. So if the estrogen levels are high in the tap water, it's also going to be high in the bottled water. Well, research is now showing that high levels of estrogen is causing some major issues in the human body. You know, so that just shows, and those are some of the things that actually will kill good gut bacteria. But one of the medications that I consider to be one of the top killers of good gut bacteria is antibiotics. And so somebody who has gotten an infection or gone like MRSA and things like that, or staph or some kind of an infection, interbody infection, when they go to the hospital, they're going to slam them full of antibiotics. And so those of you that have had that done, you need to make sure that when you come home that you're going to eat something or drink something that has got a lot of good probiotics in it. Kefir, kombucha, especially what's really good is your fermented vegetables. So that puts a lot of the good gut bacteria in, guys. So your gut plays a huge part in your overall health. As I'm learning more and more about the digestive tract and about the and how important good gut bacteria is, a good balanced bacteria is, as I learn more and more about this, you know what, guys? I mean, there's a big issue out there with obesity. Most of us who have been in the health field, who have worked for decades in helping people to lose weight, especially those of the people that are actually want to lose weight and become healthy, that obesity is a challenge. I mean, a lot of people are trying to find shortcuts or the magic pill that will help them lose weight. You know what, guys? There really isn't any magic pill. I mean, there's those meal replacement drinks that a lot of these supplement companies are advertising that help you lose weight. You know what? At first, it's a temporary fix, but over long term, you can't do it. It's just not healthy for you. And you know, research has shown that the root cause of obesity or overweight is a very acidic body, and that's the root cause, because a very highly acidic body creates inflammation. So getting back to the gut here, and the title of the topic today is your gut bacteria making you fat? Well, in my research so far, and what I'm learning, is this really makes a lot of sense to me. And this is something, you know, I really wish I would have known this 10, 15, 20 years ago when I was actually in the business of health. I'm retired now. But this would have been a lot easier for me if I knew about this, to understand why my clients are having a hard time losing body fat. Now, a lot of us talk about losing weight. I don't. I prefer to use the word body fat. You know, you get on a scale and so many people are so hard on themselves when they get on that scale that, I mean, scale doesn't mean, I don't like to use scale. What I do is I have my clients put a pair of tight pants on, and that's going to be their guide on how to, if they're losing body fat or not. Because I like to use the word the body fat. That's what I'm going after. See, what you guys need to know is that by putting on lean muscle mass, and this goes for you women too, because you don't have the hormones we have, so don't worry about thinking that if you're going to get involved in interval training or strength training, don't think you're going to get bulky. Very, very few of you, that's not going to happen to you. But what you got to do is you got to put muscle mass on in order to lose that body fat. You know, a good example is that why do men lose weight faster than women do? Well, it's pretty obvious, because most men have more muscle mass, so they're burning more body fat. With women, now, just like my wife is 62 years old, you know, her body fat is at a healthy level right now, and why does she look the way she looks at 62? Why does she have such good muscle tone? Is because she's put on lean muscle mass, and so she's burned the body fat. And so that's how it all works. But the issue is now is that people are having a really hard time losing weight. They're doing an hour of cardio a day. A lot of them I talk to, you know, the first question I ask them is, okay, what's your eating platform like? And they say, oh, it's clean. But you know, if you really get into it and you sit them down and you look them eye to eye and you ask them, okay, what do you mean by eating clean? Let's write everything down that you're eating, and I'll determine if you're eating clean. Well, the majority of the public, when they say they're eating clean, they're not. There's a lot of stuff they seem to forget about. So that's very important, guys, is that. But the gut, what I've learned is it starts there, okay? Now, recently, and I've told you guys before this in my other videos, that when I come across some new stuff that I haven't known, or something that might be a benefit to you to help you or your clients to lose weight, I was going to share that with you. Well, I've learned something. There's a nutritionist out there. I don't know if you guys have heard him before, but he's probably one of the top nutritionists for the professional teams. He's involved with many of the professional teams out there, and probably is involved in one of the teams that you guys like. I'm sure he is. But anyway, he put out a great blog about gut bacteria, because that's what he focuses on. And so and it makes a lot of sense that there's different strains of good gut bacteria, and there's a lot of bad gut bacteria. The bottom line is, if you're having a hard time losing weight or losing body fat, I'm trying to get back to the body fat. If you're having a hard time losing body fat and you think you're doing everything right, and you might be doing everything right, but it's just not coming off, or if maybe you're plateauing out, you know, you just can't seem to get past that plateau. I've gone through that in the past. We've all gone through that in the past. Well, guys, what I have learned is that before you can even think about trying to lose that weight or that extra body fat you're trying to get off, the gut bacteria plays a humongous part in overall health. And I'm finding that out myself, because in the last year and a half, Emily and I have really worked hard on getting our digestive tract working right. And now, and I didn't even know this when I first started, I was starting to get my good gut bacteria balanced, not even knowing why, because I changed my eating platform to a whole food plant-based diet. We clean everything. We buy all organic foods, and we clean all of our organic foods with a medical grade water, 11.5 electrolyzed water. Nothing goes in my mouth that I don't clean. But I didn't even know I was putting good gut bacteria back into my gut and balancing it out with the foods I was eating. But because this environment is so toxic, and because the foods that, you know, you go out to dinner, or the water you drink, or whatever, we are never going to get away from the environmental toxins. It's just not going to happen. I mean, it's getting worse and worse and worse every single day. So we're bombarding our body with all this toxicity, and we're killing our guts. Most of the public right now, and those of you that have digestive issues, it's all because of your gut bacteria. You've got more bad gut bacteria than you have good gut bacteria. So that's the cause of your digestive issues. You have to start working on healing the gut by putting in more good gut bacteria, probiotics and prebiotics, through, I like live fresh foods. So kefir is a good way to do it. Kombucha is a good way to do it. Fermented vegetables is a good way. That's how we do it. So you got to start doing that. So when you're thinking about, okay, I need to lose body fat, don't think about going on a some kind of a fad diet plan, because it's not going to work. It may work temporarily at first, but there's some long-term effects due to that. You got to just start eating more fresh foods and do fermented foods, and then start healing the gut by balancing it with good gut bacteria. So the question is your gut bacteria making you fat? I'm going to put myself on the line here. I'm going to say absolutely. Now that I understand how important the digestive tract is and how important it is to get the gut to start working right before anything else, I fully believe that most of the public out there that have issues with obesity or overweight, and let's talk about the ones, men and women that are 40 and over, especially the baby boomers out there. How hard it is to lose weight, when you get up in that age. You know what, guys? If you get your gut working right and you're eating the proper foods and you're able to balance your gut, this is what I've learned. There's 2 strains of gut bacteria that if they're unbalanced, and if one of the strains are more than the other, you're going to have issues with fat. You are going to get fat. You are going to stay fat. And that's why now I believe, and from what I've learned, that it all has to start with the gut and how to heal the gut with good gut bacteria, because now I understand these different strains that the body will produce when it's so acidic and when you're eating such toxic foods like the Western diet. And so now research has actually shown that these 2 strains of gut bacteria, and now I'll have a blog with this, and the blog is going to actually name the 2 gut bacteria, the strains, that are the one that's really causing the issue, why you're holding on to your fat. And I'm going to call this particular one, what I call it, I wrote it down here. I'm going to call it the, let's see, there's a couple of strains of bacteria in your gut that need to be balanced. Okay, these are the notes I have. And if they're not, then you won't lose weight. If they are, it's a way for you to maintain your weight. And then if one of these strains are a little higher than the bad one that likes to hold on fat, those strains that are a little higher are shown to be in leaner people. Okay, but the problem is that you won't have that one strain that the lean people have because your gut is sick. You don't have good gut bacteria. So the other one is known as let's call it the breakdown. The good strain is breaking down the bulky plant starches into shorter chain fatty acid molecules and used as energy. Okay, research has shown that those who have higher levels of this one strain, and I'm going to have it in my blog, this one strain, they are leaner. Okay, but the other strain is the issue. And when you have more bad gut bacteria, the bad strain that is in there, okay, now I'm saying it's a bad strain. It's a gut bacteria that we have to have because there is a function for it. But the problem is that when it overruns the good strain that helps to break down the fat, then it causes an issue. Okay, so it wants to hold on to fat and it wants to make more fat. So that's why it's important that to understand these 2 strains. Now, in my blog, like I said, I'll post it. I want you to look, I'll define them, be more specific, and I'll explain more about it. So Shan Stratton did a great job on defining these two strains and how they exactly work. And so I'm going to use that in my blog so you guys could understand it and understand why it's so important in order to have good gut bacteria. But what's remarkable, what I thought was very interesting, is that there is another way of getting your good, balanced, good gut bacteria that you have to have. And this is something I just learned, 5 years ago, is that hydrogen H2. Now, most of you know that I drink hydrogen-rich water, and that I use this water as my recovery drink when I'm exercising. But it's also, as a wellness coach, and now I have multiple wellness coaches that I'm working with and that are on my team, is that we have all changed our platform, our health platform. Because as a wellness coach, what's the hardest thing for us to do is to change someone's diet to lose weight. See, we always, in the past, all of us nutritionists and wellness coaches and dietitians and, I don't know, you can call it whatever, we've always focused on the food part of it. We've always went after that, okay? But that's not, we did it wrong. It's backwards. We should have been focusing on the water that we've been drinking all these years, because 75% of the body is water. We should be working on that. And the public and myself, before I found this, I was drinking toxic water. Okay, so I've come to find out that there are different types of water. So as soon as I got introduced to hydrogen-rich water and realized how it had an effect on losing weight. But did I know why? Not really. It took me 3 or 4 years of research and learning and going to classes to understand how hydrogen really works. But now, us wellness coaches or fat loss counselors, what do you want to call us, have learned that the root or the base of our health platform is going to be the water. That's the first thing that we're going to change, is change someone's water to hydrogen-rich water to bump start the body to lose weight, to lose body fat. And what's really crazy, guys, is that if your good gut bacteria, if you have a good balanced gut, your body, the bacteria in your body is already producing hydrogen H2. It's already producing it. And so that is why you need to be drinking hydrogen-rich water with this overly toxic environment to be able to help the body get back into a state or a balanced gut. And by eating your kefir and your kombucha and your cultured foods, and you're bringing your good gut back up. You're going to be able to produce the H2, the hydrogen H2, in the body naturally, besides drinking the water. And so how do we get people started first? Change their water with hydrogen-rich water. We're going to bump start. I'm not even going to change their diet yet. For 2 to 3 weeks, I don't change their diet. All I'm going to do is change the type of water, because what does it do? Detoxes you. It's able to detox you. I just put somebody on it here a couple days ago. They're very healthy. They're, they don't have any medical issues, but they realize how important water is. They wanted to try it. And I told them, I said, you know what? You guys are pretty healthy. You've been eating clean. And they have. I know what they eat. I said, you may not feel the detoxification part of this water. Now, I've had some researchers. I've had some other health professionals tell me I'm full of caca because the water can't detox you. It's not what it does. They seem to they're more into the chemical of it. I'm more, I just do it by trying it. That's how I figured it out. But you know what? This person texted me today, and they're detoxing majorly. And they're eliminating like they've never eliminated before. And all they did was they changed the type of water. Okay, so by eliminating the way you're supposed to, what are you doing to your gut and your colon? And by peeing more than you've ever peed before, is that part of detoxing? Absolutely. So what are they doing? Do you think maybe their body is going to say, hey, wow, You're cleaning me out on a daily basis. I don't need to store this fat anymore. I'll use it as energy because, you know, guys, the bottom line is when you're overly acidic, the body has a protective mechanism that's going to save itself from dying, because if you get too acidic, you're going to die. So guess what it does? It takes the acidic crystals, whatever you want to call it, and stores it in fat. So the more acidic you are, the fatter you're going to get. Okay, so if you're eating a lot of toxic chemicals, like in your foods and your fruits and in your drinks and in whatever, you're not going to lose the weight. It ain't going to happen. Your body's overly acidic, so your body's going to protect itself by keeping on the weight. So, by you changing the type of water you're drinking right off the bat, and you're detoxifying every single day like you're supposed to, you can't detoxify every 4 or 5, 6 months. No, that's not going to work, because we're in an environment that's toxic, so we're going to do it every day. So doesn't that make sense? You know, by detoxing every single day, daily, with the simplest and easiest way is by changing your body, 75% of your body, to hydrogen-rich water. Absolutely. And that's just another way of getting your gut healthy. Guys, I'm telling you, you change the way your lifestyle is from the Western diet to more of a whole food, plant-based diet, and by eating more foods, live foods, that can put good pro and prebiotics in your body, I'm telling you, you're going to see some amazing things happen to your body. You're going to lose that excess body fat you've been trying to lose. But you know what? People just don't want to do it. They just do not want to change their lifestyle. You don't have to be perfect. Trust me. You don't have to be perfect. If you're doing good for whatever, how many times, and you screw up one night out of 3 weeks, you're not going to hurt yourself. Don't get so down on yourself. It's not going to hurt you. It's just going to remind you how bad that food is because of the way you're going to feel. The cleaner you get, the more you've detoxed over time, the cleaner you're going to get. So that bad food is not going to taste the same. It'll make you sick. I'm going to give you a good example. Guess what I did? I mean, I'm not perfect either. Although we've been doing this for a long time, I'm not perfect. Last night, went to a concert, got out late, and I'm driving home and I'm hungry. Now, I'm doing intermittent fasting. My wife do a brunch intermittent fasting that's been very successful for us. Our last meal's at 6, and then we don't eat our next meal till the next morning till about 11, a brunch. And it's been really helping with my weight. I mean, my body fat is going down more so than it had when we were competing. I haven't lost strength, so that's a good thing. So I am being careful with that. But you know what, guys? Last night on the way home at 9 o'clock, this is unheard of, 9 o'clock, I went by In-N-Out Burger. And I don't eat red meat. But you know what? I wanted it, so I did it. And you know, for some reason I didn't get an upset stomach. I don't know. But I came home, had a big glass of hydrogen-rich water, and figured, okay, I'm going to wake up the next morning. I probably won't sleep very good tonight. And I'll wake up the next morning, my shoulders might ache a little bit because of the acidity in the meat and whatever chemicals are in that food. Honestly, I didn't wake up feeling bad at all. But you know what I did? I added an extra hour and a half to my fasting to make sure I've digested that food and make sure that the cleaning crew in my intestines, after I've digested it, making sure the cleaning crew in my intestines had brushed all the crap off the liner of my small intestines. Okay, so then I'm back on my eating program. I probably won't do that again for a long time, but I did, so I am human. But you know what? Most of the American public are doing that every day and almost at every meal. And so that's why obesity is such a big deal here in the United States. You know, go down to Oceanside Pier, sit there for 2 or 3 hours on a nice sunny day, and look at the people that are walking around that area. And especially I want you guys to look at the young kids that are obese. Okay? And then go to your stores. Whenever you're at the store, check out that food cart that they have. Look at what they're buying. Look what the kids are. Look at the parents are giving to the kids. You know, that's a major issue. That's causing that's killing the good gut bacteria. So, like I said, there'll be a blog on here that'll explain those two chains, those two bacteria chains that are very important. It'll be more specific, so please go on there and read that blog. Like I said, Shan Stratton is one of the top nutritionists for probably all the proteins that you like. I'm sure he is, but he really focuses on good gut bacteria for everything. I mean, you could look it up yourself. Research is now saying that all diseases start in the gut, but for some reason people aren't putting that out, and that's why we do these videos, to spread the word and to, for you guys to do your own education on it. Don't listen to me, just do your own. If you message me, I'll point you in the right directions. So that, I mean, if you want to see some of my blogs, you go on my Facebook page, Drink Nature's Water, like it, and I have a lot of blogs on there and videos that I do, which will talk about this. But you know what, guys? For those of you that are professional health people, for those of you that are doing some kind of supplement, health supplement for people to lose weight, you know what? Learn about how to get the gut in a balance, in a good balance. Because if you learn that, and you learn how to detox a person every day, and you change the alkalinity of their body to a slightly alkaline, your success rate for your client will be much, much higher and more healthier. Okay, that's the key point. Not about the back pocket, guys. It's all about your client. And so you want to give them the most or the healthiest foods you can that is going to benefit them, and it's going to get to their goals. Okay, and so that's why a lot of us here in the Valley now have seen the results of hydrogen-rich water when we're trying to work with our clients who are trying to lose weight and getting them to that point. You've got to start with small steps, and that small step is starting with the water to detox them on a daily basis, then move into the food part of it, and then go. I mean, we got to go after the gut. Before you can go after the gut, you've got to flush them out. You've got to cleanse their body first. You've got to detox them on a daily basis. Okay, guys? So, hey, guys, I hope you saw some value in this. I hope you saw how important it is to make sure that you work on your gut for preventative. I mean, now there's lots of research now showing also that a lot of these cancers that are out there can be prevented by understanding and educating yourself about healing your gut. We've worked with a lot of, over the last 5 years, we've seen a lot of some amazing things. We've changed the life of many, many families and people out there with major medical issues, including myself. And all we've done really is just pointed them in the right direction, let them make the decision what they want to do and how they want to do it. All we do is point them and then let them know that here, the water's free to try. Give it a shot. You got 2 to 3 weeks of trying it. See for yourself. That's how simple it is. No obligation or anything. But you know what? It's just as a wellness coach and all of us that are involved in this, it's our job to make sure that we've done our investigation on anything we promote. See, those of you that are in the health and wellness industry, make sure that whatever you're promoting is safe for your client. Make sure that there's no long-term side effects from them taking whatever they're going to take, and make sure it's something that they're able to do for the rest of their lives. And God gave us fresh fruits and vegetables that are grown on untoxic plants to give to our bodies, because our immune system needs that fresh fruits and probiotics in order to fight diseases. But of course, most of you know that a lot of the environment is so bad, so people aren't getting that. But there is hope, and there is a way to do it, guys. So hey, guys, I know this is a long video. This was very important for me to tell you guys, because like I said, now that I'm understanding more about the digestive tract and learning more about the gut, it is probably where you got to start. So you families out there, you need to teach your kids that how important the gut is and what feeds the gut to have good gut bacteria. So guys, like I said, I hope you saw some value in this. And I'll be doing another one of these here pretty soon. But anyway, you guys have a great day, and hey, we'll see you the next time around. Have a good one.